up guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be doing a little Q&A. The other day I did a question and answer on my Instagram story, and I got a lot of questions. So many that I couldn't possibly answer them on my Instagram story. So I figured I'd make a longer YouTube video and answer some of these questions. There's some really good ones in here and I'm really impressed. There's some really dumb ones in here. There's some weird ones, and then there's some in here that y'all might be embarrassed that you asked me this. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so this is the list. As you can see, there's a lot of papers in here, and I screenshotted it. So this is like 3 screenshots a piece, and there's, I don't know how many pages in here, but there's a lot. So there's a lot of duplicate questions in here, so I'm probably not going to read them all because some of them are very similar to each other and it would just be redundant. So, but we are going to start right here at numero uno. And is, how did you come to focus on Honda upgrades? Honestly, I've had multiple project cars throughout the years, and I bought a Honda and I really enjoyed it. It's kind of like Legos. So, and it's very, you know, upgrading a car is like instant gratification. You get a part, you put it on, boom, look what you did. So Hondas are super fun. The parts are, well, they used to be, are inexpensive, and it's a fun time. And I feel like everybody in the car community started with a Honda. At one point you had a Honda, you had a Civic, you had an Integra, maybe you had an older Civic, but I feel like a lot of people started with Hondas. So, next one, how much is it for a K-swap and an Integra? It's a lot. It's not cheap. I mean, you could probably do a K-swap and Integra for a cheap amount of money, but it depends on like how nice you want it to look. I personally, I'm kind of picky and I really want it to look nice. So therefore, I took a little extra time, a little extra money, and spent the dollars. Now, clearly this is a build that's taken me a while because I don't have the money to do the build right away. So I have to source parts, get some paychecks, save some money, buy the parts I want, stuff like that. So I probably could have gotten it done a lot faster, but it wouldn't have looked as nice. So I wasn't willing to skimp, if that makes sense. Coming to Colorado anytime soon? Probably not. Sorry. Can you modify my car? No, I don't have enough money for my cars. I'm definitely not modifying yours, but I appreciate the question. Next one, would you rather daily a B series or a K-swap? You know, I have both. I have a B18C5 and my EK, and I also, this one doesn't run yet, but I do have an HN Civic, does have a K20, and I enjoy both of them. Honestly, they both have their own personality. Probably like the K series. The HN Civic's a little bit probably nicer, more luxurious as a driver. But as a daily driver, I just ride my Elantra. My Elantra in, if I'm going to talk about dailies. Next up. Do I have any other any other hobbies that I do outside of racing and cars? Food. I'm a foodie. I love sushi. That would probably be, oh, and petting dogs. That's probably my life in a nutshell. Petting dogs. Here's a good one. I know y'all are waiting for the spicy ones. Well, what's your phone number? You know, that's a really good question. But you know what? I'm sure the lady in your profile photo, she probably don't want you to have my phone number. So, probably not a good question. It's time you built a V8. You know, I've thought about it. I have thought about building a muscle car. If I was going to buy one, it would definitely be a Nova. And I would definitely do a V8. I would never put a V8 into an import car like a Nissan or anything like that because I'm not about that. But I went to a car show the other day and there was a really nice Nova, and I was looking inside the engine bay and I realized how easy that looks compared to some of the things that I've done. That'd probably be an easy project for sure. How did you start racing? Well, that is a question I get a lot, and that's probably most of the questions in here is how did I start racing? I started in track days. I signed up for a track day and I absolutely loved it. Had a friend who said, sign up for a track day, Sally, and I went with him to the track day and I had a blast. I took my daily driver. I had a Chevy Cobalt. It was a manual, so it was a little cooler. But I took my Chevy Cobalt, I went to the racetrack, and I had a really great time, and I realized that I was terrible and had no idea what I was doing, but I knew I could work on it and get faster, and I did, and I went a couple of times, but I quickly realized that Chevy Cobalts don't really have any aftermarket parts, so I ended up getting other cars, and I went through NASA, and I went through the high performance driving events like 1, 2, 3, and 4. I got my time trial license and I started working on that. I did some time trials, I did some time attack, I got some trophies. I did really well, and then I was contacted by a manufacturer to come race in a professional series, TC America, and I had never ever signed up for a professional race before, or a race for that matter, like wheel-to-wheel race, and it was awesome. I had such a great time. Now, it's not free, it does cost money, and I did have to find sponsors, but anybody can do this. If you put the hard work in, look for sponsors, promote yourself on the internet, work on your, your social presence, work on, promoting your brand and what you have to offer to companies, you can find the sponsors and you can race too. It's not easy. It's not something you can do overnight. It does take time, but if you work on it, you can get there. And I feel like my story is a way to share that with people that you can do it too. So if you want to, go out there and do it. You can make it happen. All right, next page. All right, I'll take that one off. Do I like the Borla ITBs? Absolutely, they look fantastic. Now, of course, the car doesn't run, but they're gonna work fantastic. I've had very good, highly recommended, and so I think they're gonna be fantastic. And they're gonna sound amazing. So, when will the DC2 be ready? I wish I knew. When's it gonna be ready? Well, it's really hard working a full-time job. I am a service advisor at a Ferrari dealership. That's my full-time job. I work at least 50 hours a week, and from 7:30 to 6. That's quite a shift. So when I get off work, I don't necessarily work on things during the week. It's a lot. So my weekends, because I don't work Saturday and Sunday, I try to work on my projects here. Now, as you notice, I film everything. So that makes everything exponentially longer and takes longer to get done. So, and like I said earlier, I don't have massive amounts of money. So sometimes I gotta wait a couple paychecks to buy a part. So here we are. I don't know. But hopefully soon. I have a lot of the swap parts in. So hopefully this will happen. I would like to have it running in 2024. Are you a mechanic? I don't know. Am I? This is something I enjoy. I learn things every time I work on something that I have. The 350Z, my Integra, working on the Elantra, my truck. Every time I work on something, I'm learning something. So, I would say I enjoy mechanics. I don't know if I'm a mechanic because I think you have to make money to be a mechanic, but I sure enjoy working on cars. How do you get the grease off of your jeans? It's funny, I have pants that I only wear to work on cars in. So I have 3 or 4 pairs of jeans, and that's all I do is work on cars. I have jeans for going out. So, I don't know. Laundry soap? Grease remover? I did recently buy a one-piece overall set for working on cars. It should be delivered today, so we'll see how that works out. I think it'd be cool. I have a lot of you that tell me that you love me. Thanks. More mods for the Elantra in. Absolutely. I really want to take it to a track day. I got some new tires for it, so they'll be arriving shortly. I'm really excited about those. I just installed some camber bolts. I haven't posted the video about it yet, but I did add some more camber to the front of the Elantra. I just recently got the black flat emblems from Korea, and so I'll be taking off the silver emblems and putting those on. Those look super cool. So I got some more things in the works. I really want to put coilovers on it, but you know, still a daily. I still got to be responsible. Have you been to New Mexico before? I've driven through when I was going my way to like Road Atlanta, but I haven't really spent in a lot of time in New Mexico. I'm sorry. I think we're done with this sheet. All right, next. We got another one. Let me get your digits. All right, here's a good one. What's a tuner you have always wanted to make a track car? There's many cars that I'd love to make a track car. I'd love to make like a Tegra track car, NSX. I'd like to make my Elantra in a track car. There's so many cars that I would just love to have. I'd love to have a Miata. I know that sounds bizarre, but I would love to have a Miata. It helps you learn with your driving skills because I feel like you can really learn to be fast in a slow car. And if you can be fast in a slow car, you can be fast in a fast car. So I would love to have like a spec Miata. I think it'd be fun. Oh, here we go. You like wearing Vans? No. Yes, I probably have at least 20 pairs of Vans. At least 20 pairs. All different colors. You probably only see me in the same two because most of the time I don't want to get my nice Vans dirty. So I have garage Vans. I literally have garage Vans. And they become garage Vans because I've worn them to the point that they're no longer like, I want to wear them out. So they get kind of dirty, they get a hole in them, something. So they get banished to the garage and they become garage Vans. But yes, I do like wearing Vans. Now I have other kind of shoes. I like Converse also. I like Crocs. And I had somebody ask me why I stopped wearing Crocs in one of these questions. And the reason why, oh yeah, here is, do you wear Crocs? Or what happened to the Crocs? Yeah, what happened to the Crocs? I love wearing Crocs in the garage, but what I don't like is getting oil and coolant and in your toes. That's gross. Then you have greasy, dirty toes. That's why. And I'm not selling pictures of that either, thanks. Which project car are you most excited to finish? Obviously this one. But I'm really excited about my 350Z. I've bought a lot of parts that I've kind of showed you guys, but I have some really big plans for it, for kind of a drift car. Kind of a track car, but mostly a drift car. I got some suspension in for it recently. I've got the body kit for it. It's gonna get painted soon. And I've got some wheels that I've only posted once and I bought over a year ago, and holy crap, they're gonna look fantastic. Let's just say triple chrome. So I'm excited about those. All right, next page. All right, what we got here? How long have you been into building cars? I'd say maybe like 2, 3, 4 years. I don't know. I just do what I enjoy, and I know that I've really started to document them a lot more on social media. But before unfortunately, I had Subarus. That definitely was a painful experience. And I think that's why I like working with other cars, because they're more reliable and I get to have more fun driving them. So yeah. Where do you live? Bro, I'm not telling you, because you're probably gonna show up. All right, next question. Any plans to track the FA5? Absolutely not. I have a body kit on there that is really hard to find, and if anything ever happens to it, I'm not going to be able to replace it. And I actually just bought new wheels, and I'm going to lower it some. So we're going to go for more of a stance look on the FA5 and less of a track car. I have too many track cars, so I'm going to have a fun street car. You have to see the new wheels soon. I bought them from Thailand, and they should be getting here in about 7 to 10 days. So I'm pretty pumped about that. Stay tuned. Let's see here. Next question. How is Carl and Lucy? They are fantastic. Carl and Lucy are my two corgis that I have. Carl is 9, Lucy is 7, and I've had them both since they were babies. They are best buds, they're inseparable. Don't have any other kids, just kids with fur. How do you feel about EV vehicles? I am all for it. I think it's great. Have you checked out the new Hyundai Ioniq 5N? That thing is sick and is supposed to be released to the public very soon here in the US. And I hope I get to drive one because they make like 600 horsepower. I saw one, has like 21-inch wheels, gigantic brakes. I mean, the car is cool. So I'm all for it. I think it's the way of the future. Somebody asked, oh, what is your record? I'm not really sure what that means, like my driving record, or like, have I been arrested? No, I've never been arrested. And my driving record is really clean too. I haven't had a ticket or an accident or any of that. I mean, I think the last time I got into an accident, somebody rear-ended me next to my house. When I just got the FA5, somebody rear-ended the back of my car. I had it for like 2 weeks. And I got rear-ended and I was really upset, but got it fixed. It was all good. So this is no questions. I'm about to pick up a 2005 Type S and I'm hyped. You should be. Super pumped for you. Have fun, enjoy it, and learn about it. Somebody asked, Subaru, question mark. Absolutely not. Never again. And never again. Somebody asked, a dinner date with me. Where did you learn to do automotive work? That's a really good question. I learned to work on cars because I started taking cars to the racetrack. I was doing track days and I didn't have enough money to have people upgrade them for me. Like I needed brakes, or if I wanted to put on a sway bar, or I wanted to have coilovers put on. I didn't know how to do it, but I didn't have any money to pay anybody to do it. So I figured, hey, I've seen people do this before. Why can't I do this? I can get the tools. I need to get tools anyway, and I can figure this out. You know that it is a learning experience. You do learn things. It does take longer, but you know what? It's really rewarding to have those skills to be able to replace your brakes, be able to put on a set of coilovers, to put on a sway bar, to be able to change your oil. It's really rewarding to have those skills, and I learned those by going to the racetrack and having to maintain my vehicle or fixing my broken vehicle. Because of the racetrack. And that's where I really learned this stuff, is that I really, really liked it, and I wasn't going to get any farther unless I learned how to do it myself. Another one, where are you from? I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. That's about as all you're going to get. Well, I'll take that back. I grew up in Missouri. That's where I was born. But I've lived a lot of my life in Phoenix. So that's where I'm going to say I live. So next page. All right, would you eat a cheese sandwich and watch the ocean? Sure. Maybe it's a really good cheese sandwich. Maybe they use like some really great cheese like provolone and Gouda and brie and all those delicious cheeses. So maybe, yeah. What goes through your mind when you're on the racetrack? That's a really good question. Racing is very physical, a lot of hand-eye coordination, feet work, but it's also very mental too. There's a lot to think about, and if you're not in a good mental state, like if you're upset about something, it's going to affect your driving for sure. So keeping a good level head is very important, staying focused. The biggest thing for me, the biggest killer, is not driving on the racetrack. It's actually sitting on grid, waiting for the race to start, waiting for practice or qualifying to start. You're sitting there for 5 and 10 minutes, and that's all. You're all strapped in, you've got your helmet on, Hans on, you've got everything ready to go, and you're just sitting there. It's like, what do you think about? I don't want to look at my phone because then I get distracted and I'm not paying attention to what I need to be doing. It's really challenging sometimes. And that is probably the hardest for me, is to staying focused for those 5 or 10 minutes when you know something's about to start. You just have to sit there on pins and needles. This one's a very highly asked question, and it's, who holds the camera for you? Really, guys? Hold on. I'm gonna make this video so you can see at the same time I'm talking who holds the camera for me. There it is. Woo! Tripod. I use a tripod to film almost all of my footage. Sometimes I do have people help me, as a lot of you would say in the comments, that the person holding my camera tells me how to work on cars. Well, Mr. Tripod here must be a pretty good mechanic. Or he's the one, or the person holding the phone is the one doing all the work in between takes. Dang, Mr. Tripod's got some skills. Is the hood gonna fit? I don't know. Maybe. I don't even have a hood yet, so. It might fit, it might not fit. We don't know. Who cares? If it doesn't fit, it don't run a hood. How much horsepower are you hoping to achieve with the K-swap? I really don't know. I'm thinking maybe like 215, 220 maybe? I don't really know. We're gonna find out, and once we get this all going, take it to the dyno to get tuned, and we'll figure how much this thing's gonna make. At the moment, I'm just enjoying building it. At what age did you discover that you had such a love for vehicular mechanics? I was pretty young. I always hung out with my brothers and I was always working on things. So I've always liked building things with my hands. So I'd say a pretty young age. Definitely like the only girl in school with a folder that had a race car on it. How many 10mm sockets have you lost? That's a really good question. And I've probably purchased about 100 10mm sockets, and I probably have 3 to my name. The other day I was doing laundry and I found a 10mm open hinge in the pocket of my pants. I was like, ah, sweet. What are my favorite tunes to listen to while working on cars? Unfortunately, I don't get to listen to any music while working on cars, because I'm too busy filming them to show you guys. So, but if I were to listen to music, it'd probably be like EDM or like emo. Are you coming to California again? I will be in California in April for the TC America Championship. I will be at Sonoma Raceway at the beginning of April. So yes, I'll be in California again. Are you done with Subarus? Absolutely. I don't have enough money to keep a Subaru. What is your job title in auto mechanic? Well, my job title is service advisor. So I am actually not a technician or a mechanic. I actually talk to customers and sell them work and all of that good stuff. But I actually do not work in the shop at the dealership I work at. I am a service writer. What was your first car? My first car was a 1988 Jaguar XJ6. Car was $9,000 and it was a pile of crap. There are definitely other cars that are better and probably would have been a little bit more fiscally responsible for a high schooler. Here we go. How are you able to stay so clean while working on cars? This one is asked all the time. And honestly, it's really simple. Do you see any dirt on cars that are clean? If there isn't any dirt, there's no dirt to get on you. So all of my vehicles are pretty clean. And so therefore when you work on cars, you actually don't get any dirt on yourself. So that's how we stay so clean. What motor mounts did you use on the K24? I got these at Hasport Performance. My friend Brian over there owns Hasport, and I got the mounts from him and they're fantastic. I've also used them on my EK, so I know that they are really good. Sell me your AC condenser. Sorry buddy, already sold it, already gone. Sorry. I had a lot of people ask about the underdash harness, the condenser, all of my stuff that I took out of the Integra. Everybody wanted it. I'm sorry guys, already gone. All right, there's one question in here that's been asked several times. I'm gonna go through and read. Let's see here. Are you married? Will you marry me? Not on this page. Are you married? Will you marry me? Marry me respectfully. Are you married? Or would you date an older man? Would you marry me? Are you married? Married, question mark. Are you married? Will you marry me? Can I marry you? Married? Can I marry you? Are you married? Well, geez. Wow. The answer is I'm not married. So there you go. Anyways, back to the questions. I had to go back and read these because I read it so many times and I can't answer it 75 times. I'll answer it once. Okay, I think that brings us to the last page. Somebody asked if I speak Spanish. No, I don't. I know like 6 words. Do you find it hard to hide the fact that you're a hottie? What? I don't care, dude. All I want to do is work on cars, okay? And have a good time. And eat good food. And pet dogs. That's it. And when are you racing next? Next April. Sonoma Raceway. It's the next time I am at the racetrack racing. And what is your best time at the quarter mile in your EK? Slow. All right, here's a good one. What is the strangest thing you have in your fridge at the moment? A lot of kimchi. Let's see, just running through anything that I missed that could have been really good. Thinking about getting an MR2 is a good idea for a first project car. Sure, K-swapped MR2s are really sick. So yes, do it. Why not? Who's telling you no? Let's see, looking through really quick. Do I see anything that's good? Does glasses affect your racing? No, a lot of professional drivers wear glasses because contacts can possibly pop out of your eye and then you might be in trouble. Glasses don't fall off your face. So, no. I actually love wearing glasses. Sometimes I do wear glasses with like clear frames while racing, and that does help a little bit, but other than that, they don't bother me at all. All right, so I'm gonna end this Q&A with the most requested question. I'll ask a lot in all of these questions, and that question is, how old are you? A lot of people wanna know how old I am, and my answer to that is old enough to party. So with that note, I'm gonna end this Q&A. Just remember, I'm gonna be doing a long form video on everything I've done on the Integra up to now, so keep an eye out for that. And like I said, have a good day.